Greetings all, welcome back to the shed. Going to crack on with the bobber build. I didn't get a video up last weekend. We had some places to go, people to see, clippers to fight. Yeah, big regret in, don't know really why I did it. It was a bit of a mad moment which I'm regretting. So yeah, I'm just going to grow it back. So I hate it. But enough of that shit. Let's get on with the bike. Yeah, I want to try and get the engine in. I think is the first job. I'm on my own, so I've got to be a little bit kind of industrious about how I do this. I have enlisted the help of a friend this morning already. He came round and we moved the engine from the house into the shed. That's where you're sitting at the moment, is on top of the engine. But yeah, going to work out how I'm going to get it in the bike or the bike on it. The frame and the wheels are definitely the lighter thing to lift over. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll work it out. I've only just got in here and woken up really, so but yeah, let's see how it goes. Just continuing on with the dry build really, because that's what you got to do. I've started kind of just thinking a little bit more seriously about things like lights, exhausts, speedo, seats, mudguards, all the stuff I haven't got, or know exactly what I'm going to be using. Two things that have struck me are the exhaust. I'll put a picture up now. These are the exhausts I really like, and I think this style of exhaust is kind of what I think I'm going to go for. So these British Customs TT/Cut exhaust system, I think that's what it is. And I really like those. They are quite expensive, so it would take a fair bit of saving up to get those. I need to kind of look at the rear mounting bracket, because I've got a feeling I don't have that bolted area available to me on the modified frame anymore, so I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll see. But that's the kind of style of exhaust at the moment I'm going for. I'm thinking a little bit more down, sticking out, discreet, not too much on show, a little bit drag racery, something, you know, less is more. That's probably the main thing I want to do, is try and strip this down, have it as open and as decluttered as I can get away with. The other thing I really like is this headlight from Chopper Culture. But again, we're talking almost £300 for that. It's a aluminium light. It is really nice. I do like it, but I might end up, I'm thinking I might try and do something a little bit more flatter profile. Not exactly like I'm trying to think what it is now. The JVB Moto did like a headlight mask for the Bonneville, which is quite trackery. I kind of want the headlight closer in to the forks, so I might try and do something myself, because I just can't see anything out there, and that's the whole point in it. Rather than just buy something off the shelf and bolt it on, it'd be quite nice to incorporate as many individual bits. That's the whole kind of reason why we do stuff like this. But we'll get onto that. It's all just stuff that I'm daydreaming about as I'm riding into work at the moment. But yeah, enough waffling. Let's have a look at how I'm going to get this engine into the bike. Don't mention the beard. Cool beans. So, right, just after filming that, I've lowered the bike down onto its wheels. So that's as low as it's going to go without it falling over. And I've measured the distance from, well, so far only this engine mount, because that's accessible. I've got the engine on a little stand, which I picked off eBay a while back, and so I can try and get the frame over it and use these points. So it's at the same height now, near enough-ish, given my slightly uneven floor. So I'm trying to think. I'm just thinking on the fly here at the moment. Might take the bottom rails out perhaps, and see if I can lift that over the top of that. Not really sure yet how I'm going to do it. Just get the spanners and the Allen keys out and have a play.
Well, it's taken a little bit of a while and there's some head scratching, but so I've got all the bottom rails, all the stuff so far that I don't need on there, or just cleared stuff out of the way. I'm going to try and do it without having to take the wheels and the front end off, but we'll see as yet. I'm just taking a bit more head scratching because I've been just sizing things up, and I can't drop the frame over the top with this section on the engine mount because it fouls this section here, so I won't get it in. The front's fine, that's got a lot of clearance, I think, looking at it, but this rear section not so. So I need to find a way, or needed to find a way of supporting this bottom section, and luckily this engine stand I can remove this section and that section down there, remove that out of the way, and I'll be able to hopefully drop the frame on. And I've been cutting up bits of wood and just doing all this, and I was like, what? I wonder if I can modify one of these stands, which is, yeah, actually worked out a treat, I think. That's just on a flat point just behind the oil filter there, so that should hopefully keep that upright if I remove that. So I'm going to very tentatively undo some of these bolts and just see what's going to happen. That's slackened off totally. I think we're good. That seems to be taking the weight, so I can go ahead and remove this. Right, so in theory I should be able to get the frame over that. Let's have a go. Well, in the end I decided to take the front end and the rear wheel off. I mean, I hadn't tightened anything up. It's going to make my life a bit easier. I had a little feel, I thought that's going to be way too much farting around, so for the sake of a couple of minutes it's going to make my life easier. So it's just literally the frame now, which hopefully I'll be able to just lift straight onto there and then start getting some bolts in. Right, that's phase one. Now I've just got to sort through my box of bits, get all the engine bolts out, and then stick them in. Right, so the engine's pretty much in. It's secured just at the moment with that one and that frame bolt. So just got to put the lower rails in. So just need to got the wheels front fork, so I'm just going to put the bars on as well, just get that all supported, so that's all taking the weight, stand there, and then I can start to disassemble this bit, move all that out of the way, and we're sorted. So that's been pretty quick. I mean, probably, yeah, not long getting all that in. I mean, the longest bit of the whole thing was working out and remembering that I had that, but fairly quick and painless, no strain or effort to myself either, so that's nice. I can do it on my own. Alright, some few more bits put back on the bike then. So I've got the bottom frame rails on, and done my oil tanks back on. Didn't know if I've shown you from this side with the cutout. That's obviously for the chain run. I stuck the ignition barrel on because that's where that's going to be, the little ignition relocation from the standard Bonneville. Foot pegs are on. This is also just a different build. We've got these stainless spacers made up now because obviously that's where the swing arm used to sit. So we've got to have something to take up that distance from the engine. So some nice stainless spacers on each side, make that look lovely. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was looking at. I just nipped upstairs and had a look in the on the computer, and just to see if those British Customs TT pipes would fit, and they would, because they're gonna, the bracket just where we goes on here underneath. So actually that shouldn't make a heck of a lot of difference. The only possibility I can see, mind you, that line is the same as that, and the pipe's going to sit there. No, I reckon they'll fit. They'll clear that. I think that'll be absolutely fine. So that's slightly annoying in that they look like they will fit, and they look fucking awesome in my opinion on this. Which means I've got to sell another kidney on eBay. But yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Right, I'll get a few more bits on and probably wheel it outside and have a look, and then want to stand back from it. Right, I've got more stuff getting on now. Got the throttle bodies, bars, some of the cables. Put that on there just to keep it there. That's quite a nice headlight mount, which I might utilise. Rectifier, I've got one of the, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to relocate it to there, which is kind of like what a lot of people do, but then I'm sort of tempted to maybe not bolt it on there at the moment. I'm thinking under the seat maybe somewhere, keeping it kind of out of the way. That's going to be near where all the electrics is, so I can lose a lot in terms of cabling that I need to hide. So I'm thinking perhaps around there might be a better idea. Possibly even some sort of bracket down there out of the way, but then that depends what, this is a bit where it kind of depends. It depends what else I'm going to have coming in and out of there, or the wiring around that area. Battery kind of what the arrangement is there, so it's all a bit, I mean, that is definitely out of the way, and doesn't interfere with any of my other plans, but it'd be nice to kind of completely hide it. I'm even thinking now how nice it looks without the oil cooler, you know, when you could do the older oil in the down tubes kind of job, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. The one I'm in two minds about is my old, because I often ran without a mud guard, excuse me, so my old Evo Tech sump guard, just went there, and then the guard there. Now I kind of like the idea, because I possibly not going to be running with a mud guard, or it will be bobbed. It's nice to have perhaps a bit of protection on there. But I think it's probably a little bit too, it kind of defeats the ethos of, if it doesn't make you go faster or slow you down, take it off. You know, it's got to be, I want this kind of minimal, and this almost feels like I'm starting to clutter things if I put that on. Well, it would be handy because it's kind of low down. But then again, you know, I had this on because my other, you know, when I was running it, it was all year round, all weathers, so it was a kind of good protection. This will probably be a bit more of a nice weather ride, so it's not going to get thrashed as harshly, or as in harsh conditions will get thrashed. So my gut is telling me not to bother, and along with a real nice chain guard and everything, Jen is getting some extra bits on her bike. Bloody hell, because they ain't going to go on this. She's doing very well out of all this. A few bits more back on. Just started populating the handlebars a little bit. Definitely like obviously me little direct mount, much better than the piss cup, as I've said before. I'm probably at the moment thinking I'm going to stick with the stock switch gear. I know it's a little bit bulky. It's a bit, I don't know. At the moment it's just on there. You know, I'd like to go for sort of much more minimal switches, but we'll see. We'll probably treat the whole wiring aspect as a separate thing to contend with. The one thing I do need to get rid of are these brake and clutch levers. They just don't suit it. I'll go and have a dig around inside some of the old boxes. I'm sure I've got my original ones, which I think are just going to be far more in keeping. They're just too, what's the word, like techie, you know, as in like high tech, modern-y kind of, you know, which is fine. They're great, and I think they looked nice on the tracker when it was trackerized, but I think they're just going to look better with something a little bit more old school on there. But yeah, we're pretty much there. What I'll do is I'll stick them on, then I'm going to roll the bike outside, have a look at it with bits in it, you know. I'll go and stick the tank on again as well, and yeah, I think they're better. Bit more classic look to them rather than a more modern, high techy kind of look to them, which I think is going to be more fitting in for this. Yeah, so whilst I was rummaging around upstairs for the levers, I did find this old headlight, which would not be the headlight I put on because it sticks out too far, and it's just a plasticky kind of cheap one. But I might utilise the innards, and because that's kind of it's the size I want. I think it's about the right kind of size. I'd like it more set in like that if I can. I might have to be a little bit further forward, but yeah, I might try and do something with that. So that's also on the cards. But enough of this. Let's roll it outside, get the tank on, and have a look at it in all its glory. There we go, a bit of a distant shot. Yep, and pretty happy with the way it's looking. We're certainly getting there. And we spook, what do you reckon, mate? No? Well, the mind keeps going. I'm wondering about debadging. Don't know if I'll keep the 8-ball, possibly. These are all little things, but I don't know, yeah, maybe no badge, maybe a little bit of a pinstripey type thing on there, or I don't know. But yeah, so already I know now. Next thing I want to do is try and fab up some kind of bracket to hold these, because the only thing at the moment that would hold these on is the rubber boots, which I'm not happy with. I want extra support, so I need to do a bracket. There's loads of things I was thinking of. I haven't put the oil cooler in, just because we know that fits in there and it's not going to foul anything. But yeah, just got to keep building it up. So that's been almost most of the day getting that sorted, and then tomorrow I'm going to have to work on Jen's. She wants to get hers rocking and rolling again now the weather's picked up, so she's got some goodies to go on there. Chain guard off mine, sump guard of mine. And yeah, just a quick note, is right here on the America, where it's very filthy, but just going sweet as a dream, loving it. Loving the way it handles. I'm going to need a new tyre soon on the rear, but I was having a look last night, and I've actually picked up a Marathon, what was it, a Metzler Marathon, practically brand new tyre on a the solid kind of America rear wheel for 85 quid delivered, so I bought it. So I'm going to have a solid, I'll spray it up black, but that'll be a solid wheel on the back. Almost, it's got little kind of tiny cutouts in it, but pretty much solid on the back with the Metzler. So that should be coming in the next few days, so that'll be a job at some point. But as we'll clean in the poor girl. Oh dear. Yeah, the front tyre handles really nicely, but it does disperse the mud and the crud everywhere. But anyway, we're getting off topic a bit there. Back onto this one.
Well, that's it for this video. It's been probably might end up being a bit of a short video, but it has been a long day in the shed for me. But it's nice to see it looking a tiny bit more like a bike again. But still a fairly long way to go. Cat's going to walk straight in front of the camera, I can tell. Yep, there we go. Thanks, mate. Yeah, only got one day on it today, because tomorrow I'm going to have Jen's bike. I think I mentioned it out there. Get Jen's Bonnie in the shed and give that a bit of a, well, put the bits on it that aren't going to go back on mine, and just give it a general spruce up, because she's had it laid up over winter. But yeah, that's about it. There was one thing. What else? I was going to touch on the riding position. A few people asked about that. They said it looked a little bit, you know, cramped up and that. Well, I mean, it didn't feel overly uncomfortable. I mean, it is a hardtail, so in the general scheme of comfort, it ain't going to be a Honda Deauville, but it was certainly, I've felt it more sort of crunched up when I had the rear sets and the clip-ons on, so I think I'm going to be pretty much, that'd be fine with that. It'll be interesting to see where the seat ends up and just try and keep it all balanced, because it is a big tank on there, so I've got to try and work out, dude, really? So yeah, I can't remember what I was just saying then, but yeah, the tank's quite big, obviously I know that, but it's got to try and get it all worked out in the right portions. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I've got a lot to do still, a lot of things to work out and plan as it goes along, but yeah, thanks for watching, take it easy and see you next time.